What's good, world? Welcome to another episode, Media Legends. It's my honor right here. This man right here is probably responsible for a lot of my major interviews back in the days. Definitely was. I consider him
I
the plug. Whenever I got that shampoo email, I was extremely ecstatic. I was like, yes, this is gonna be a good one. Definitely connect me in with was definitely the Def Jam plug, the Capital plug, and a whole slew of other record labels plug.
I I used to sneak you in a lot of shit, Jen. I used to
oh,
get you in everything, Papito.
oh,
You used to be
definitely,
the guy. You used to be right there. You used to get on everything, JP. You had your camera was up.
definitely. I mean, a lot of exclusive people. Without further ado, the man that if y'all know this man, you definitely got a strong in the industry. Without further ado, my man Shampoo was goody, was goody, was goody, my G. Welcome to Media
It's
Legends.
good, my guy. How you, bro? Long
I'm good,
time,
I'm
big
good.
bro. Long time, man.
Yeah, it's been too long, too long. I had to fall back and survey the scene and see where I could fit in, nowadays. So I'm jumping in and, chopping it up with the true legends behind the scene. If you know Shampoo, then you know somebody. Trust me, then and you
Yes,
you was
sir. Absolutely.
and you was around. You was around. Tell me, Shampoo, how'd you get started? Like, well, what you know? Before we get into that, I see people call you street team, but I never considered you street team. I always thought you was just like a jack of all trades. Like I didn't even
Yep,
know
that is true.
back then that you was like the head of a street team. I was like, yo, Shampoo just like everything. I thought you was a
Yeah,
manager.
yeah.
I thought you was a
That's
public.
what it was. I didn't just do one thing. I did multiple things. You know what I mean? I was a manager. I managed DJs. I managed artists. You know what I mean? Of course, I ran street teams. I was part of the head general of street teams, and then created my own street team because when I first started, of course, I was part of a team. Then I created my own team, and then I got older and got wiser, and then put other people on, and then end up getting legs and arms, and started doing it nationally. So street team is to us has evolved into ambassador, more of a national ambassador, depending on what scale you're doing it on, and the scale I'm doing it on the national scale.
Oh, dope. All right. So national ambassador, what is that, like a brand thing? What is national
Nah,
ambassador?
I just made that up right now. With me and you. Me and you just made this up together. I'm the national ambassador of fucking nothing. Now I'm just joking, brother.
Now
No,
you
I'm just joking. Nah, I'm just saying because street team is like people really don't understand. They look at it like, oh, this guy just hand out flyers. It's not just that. You know what I mean? Like I said, I didn't just do the typical, guerrilla marketing, as they would consider a street team, meaning by, you see the guys putting up posters, handing out flyers, stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I do it on national where it's radio, it's clubs, it's marketing, it's branding, it's more from the ground up, from 0 to 100. You know what I mean? Meaning by, you know, taking the artists around and introducing the artists to DJs. You know what I mean? You know, that's not street team. That's publicists. You know
right.
what I mean? So you can call me a publicist. You know what I mean? You know, I set up the whole artist itinerary sometimes. That's management. You know what I mean? So that's what I said. It's multiple things that I've always had my hand in, and involved in the music industry.
So I'm gonna call you Ambassador Shampoo though.
I like that. I like
That's my that's your
that.
official title, Ambassador.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Respect that
Absolutely.
man as such. So how'd you get started in the music industry? Take me to that first. Like what was your first job, your first gig? What was your jump off into it?
My first job in the well, my first job in the industry was working uh rhythms, reggae rhythms. I
Oh,
started
okay.
working at Greensleeves.
Oh
There
wow,
was a
okay.
guy, yeah, there was a guy named Frank Mendez and Marlene. They was the one that put me on on Greensleeves because they were looking for a guy that was going into the clubs, bringing music into the clubs. So before that, how I really got started, my day one, I got started with an artist. His name was Main One. He got signed to Select Records, and I was his dancer. That's how I got
Oh,
started.
well, you used to dance?
Yeah, hell yeah. I was fucking boogie master, papito. I used to jump
Oh,
off the stages into the splits. I can't do that now. I don't think I could, you know what I mean? I won't get up. I won't be able to get up.
yo, dope, dope, dope. So
Yeah,
you
so you
started
know
off with
what?
the love of the culture and just breaking.
Yeah, so I became his dancer, and then after a while dancing, a lot of people didn't consider, because the line of music he was doing, he wasn't doing that dancing type music. He was really doing more street cultural hard shit. You know what I mean? So he was like, "Yo, bro, this dancing shit, a nigga behind me looking dancing doesn't look cool anymore. You know what I mean? So, yo, why don't you become a hype man?" And then I became his hype man, where I grabbed the mic, and then I started coming out and getting the crowd hyped before he came outside. You know what I mean? Like, because I had the energy of a dancer, so I come out dancing, you know what I mean, with the mic getting, on the left side, on the left side, on the right side, getting the crowd going crazy. Then he comes out and we do our routine, you know what I mean, and we get the crowd crazy. Then, after a while, it came to a point where, he didn't want to do this no more. So he's like, yo, I don't want to do this no more. You know what I mean? He fell out of love of the game. So then, at that time I started doing parties. So a guy came up to me and asked me, yo, I'm looking for a Latin promoter to help me with this new artist. You know what I mean? He just got signed to TVT. His name is Pitbull. You ever heard of him? And I was like,
Sure.
nah, I never heard of him. He was like, yeah, he just got signed. He's from Miami. You know what I mean? He's Little John's artist. We need to break him in New York City. And we also got Yin Yang Twins, Tidra Moses, Yo Gotti. And I was like, okay, I didn't know who these guys were. And that was the beginning.
So so the a man comes to you, he's like, yo, help me promote these artists. How does he go about explaining to you what your duties are? Like, okay, he's like, yo, you're just gonna hit the streets and or we just gotta get in the clubs with these records. Like, what was your duties back then?
Yeah, well, he really was trying to get me to get the records into the clubs or the Latin clubs because I was doing the Latin parties.
Okay.
So he was like, "Yo, I want you to come, and I'm trying to get these records in these clubs." So a lot of these DJs because of Main One, because of me being an artist, and then becoming his road manager because he wasn't like the guy that really talked to people. So I became the guy that really started becoming the wedge of him and talking to people because his manager wasn't out with us. His real manager was Jonathan Fine, a square white dude that, he's not going to fucking the tunnel. He ain't going to, Roombas and shit. He ain't doing that. So
Right.
I became the guy to be able to speaking for him. And that's how, the guy came to me and was like, yo, we got to work these records. And that's how it started, working records. And then once I got with him working records, then they started talking about poster boards and street teams. And I was already doing that for us, Main One. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you
So
had an idea of what that was already.
right. And I was always watching because I've always seen Def Jam street team out there. You know what I mean? And I knew I can do that. I can put a bunch of people together to, call, attract attention. I think I could do that. And then he was like, yo, we need to hire 30 people to walk around New York City just going, damn it, man, Pitbull, damn it, man. And then the other guys go, what? Okay, what? Okay, damn it, man. What? Damn it, man. What? Okay. And we was just walking around the city with picket signs, and everybody had on Pitbull t-shirts and Little John t-shirts. And that's when he was like, yo, you killed that. Everybody was making a big thing about it. Yo, we got these posters. And I was already ahead of that. So we started sniping, putting up the posters because, like I said, I was already doing that with Main One. So when he was like that, then that was a different type. That was a different check because remember, he hired me as a promoter to work the records. Now he's hiring me now to put a team together to put these posters up. So now it's multiple. Now I'm doing not only working the records. Now I'm out here doing the street team stuff. So then that's when somebody came to me and was like, "Yo, bro, you need a." I forgot who it was, man. It was so many years ago. Just you be in a conversation with a lot of people in this industry. It was like, "Yo, man, you need to start your own LLC. This way, you don't get to lock in with one label, and you can be able to work with multiple labels. Because if you just lock in with one label, that's it. You know what I mean? When they fire you, that's all. But if you lock in, if you're independent and they all paying you, through your company, that means you're an independent contractor. That means that you can work with everybody. And I was like, yeah, I think I want to do that, because I really wasn't the office type. Like, I tried the office stuff, and, the vibe is a lot of office politics, you know what I mean? And at that time, this is when I was younger. You know what I mean? Now I'm an office guy now, but this is when I was younger. You know what I mean? When I was younger, it was a lot of office politics, you know what I mean? I really wasn't ready for all that stuff. So that's when I went full stream in the head in the streets, you know what I mean? Called a lot of my friends. Yo, man, I got some money for you, man. Come outside with me. Yo, I got some money, come outside. And it all started with me just talking to my friends to come outside. And then they start putting their little brothers on and their little cousins on. And that's how the team started building.
Yo, that was some heavy game that person gave you back then to start an LLC.
Yeah.
Like that's dope. Like that's
Yeah.
really dope. Tell the youth real quick how important it is to like have an LLC. If you like, what benefits did you gain from that? Like just having
Well,
it.
it's a limited liability company, you know what I mean? Where, of course, you have a company where if anything's happened, you're not liable, and because it's a company, so you have to pay taxes, they pay a check, through your company, you know what I mean, and you building, that's how you build credit, and you build wealth, by having a LLC, and this way you build them, you know what I mean. And then, like I said, you're an independent contractor, so you're able to work with everybody. You're not locked into nobody, because now they're paying to your company. So they're not paying you as an employee. They're paying you as an independent contractor. So it's different.
Dope, dope. Yeah, that's heavy game right there, y'all. Like LLCs is definitely that's
That's
how
what
you be a
everybody
real
see.
boss.
That's why everybody didn't really. That's why really people didn't really understand how they see me with Def Jam, see me with Capital, see me with Epic, see me with TVT, see me with Green Sleeve, see me. They was like, yo, who he works for, like, but
Right.
nobody knew
That's why I
I
was like,
was
he can't be
independent.
street team because I know street team will be a specific,
Right,
label. So it's like, nah, he gotta
right.
be, maybe the head
Mm-hmm.
of all street team. I didn't know. So I was
Exactly,
like,
and that's what it was, and I became that because why? I end up controlling because I was so good at it. You know what I mean? I took it serious. You know what I mean? Like we was out there from sun up, sundown. While people were sleeping, we was still outside. We wasn't going in the clubs at that time. At that time, when we was out there pounding the pavement, we wasn't going outside. Everybody else was having the luxury of going inside and eating lobster and shrimp at the big private parties, and eating drinking champagne and free cognac and this new bottle or this one, and we was outside working. You know what I mean? Like we didn't have that privilege. So
oh,
that was the difference. You know what I mean? Like I really took it serious. You know what I mean? Like my job was to put everybody that took it lightly out of business, and that's what I did. While they were sleeping, I was running circles around them. So when they got up, the company was like, "Yo, who the fuck did this? We
right.
need to hire that guy because this guy keeps beating you." And that's how I end up getting all the companies, because why? You can't beat them. You got to join them, because why? If you ain't rocking with me, I'm tearing you up in the street. You know what I mean? Like I'm out there earlier than you. I'm beating you to every event. I'm putting up posters at every surrounding left, right corner. You know what I mean? Like you can't beat me in this game. You know what I mean? So that's when they was like, yo, here's all the accounts. That's when everybody started hiring me. And that's when you see me doing everybody. And that's why today, God bless, I'm fortunate to still be independent and still be able to deal with all these companies.
So who was your first campaign? Like, you was hired by the guy from TVT first, but who was the first campaign that gave you that actually hired your company? And was like, yo, we
Well,
want.
the real time, I really got my name up and my real credit where I really got my name known in the industry was when we went to Def Jam, and that's when the guy from Def Jam from that's why with the guy from TVT ended up getting a position at Def Jam, and then we end up going to Def Jam. He takes us all to Def Jam, his team to Def Jam. So when he goes to Def Jam, that's when he was like, "Yo, Pooh, you're gonna run the teams out here." You know what I mean? So, and that's when it all went serious. And he was like, "Look, these are the guys we got to blow up." There's a new guy by the name of the Snowman from Atlanta. You ever heard of him? Nah, yeah, they call him Young Jeezy. We got him. We got an artist named Rick Ross. He got a record called Hustlin'. We got a girl named Rihanna. We got a new guy from Harlem, from Dipset. They call him Joel Santana. We got the last album of Redman and Method Man. We had the guy that had the record Jiggle It. I forgot his name. Jiggle It, Jiggle It, Jiggle It, Jiggle It. I forgot his name. Damn. We had him. We had, it was all new artists. Oh, Neo. Neo was new also. And that's when I really got my name, because I went out there, put them posters up everywhere, bro. I went crazy. I didn't sleep. And that's when everybody was like, yo, that's why everybody thought I was Def Jam, because Def Jam was my main account, because they believed in me and they gave me everything. They was like, yo, here, run it up. Do it. Try it. Go for it. You know what I mean? That's why Def Jam to this day, I'm still, you know what I mean, rocking with them, because, you know, they know they can depend on me. They know they put the ball in my hand. I'm definitely gonna see it through.
How is that game today? Is it the same where?
Nah, that game is pretty much over when it comes to the street team stuff. You know what I mean? When it comes to like the guerrilla marketing, like coming to poster board, and like some labels still do it depending on the artist. If the artist is a real street artist, then they will do a street campaign. But other than that, they wouldn't. They really putting their money towards, you know, online marketing. And then now with the pandemic, there ain't been no clubs open in a year and a half already.
Right.
So we ain't working records in the clubs. So we really working records through, you know, personally through every DJ. You know what I mean? All these social media guys, you know, it's a lot of influencers. You know, it's a lot now. It's more hunting. You know what I mean? You really got to know this game, and know where to position the artist, and know how to navigate online, and make sure you know who are the players out here.
Right. So take me back real quick to day one with main one. How did you know? Where did y'all get that idea for putting up y'all posters and stuff? Was that something heavy in the hip hop scene already, or?
Yeah, because Bad Boy was already doing that. Def Jam was already doing that. So that was like a known thing. You know what I mean? Like you seen posters up. That was a normal back in the 90s. You know what I mean? To see posters up. That was normal. To come off the train station and see a bunch of posters. That's how you knew an album was coming out. We didn't have the privilege of the internet and Instagram and Facebook. We we knew album was coming out by radio, by word of mouth, by mixtapes, you know what I mean, and by hand to hand, and seeing posters and retail flyers, and you go to the barbershop, you see a poster. You don't see no posters in barbershops no more. You used to be able to go in and see this artist poster of coming soon, or his album that just dropped. And that's been the problem. It's been a new transition. Everything's right here. Everything's right here. But there's still so many people that still don't believe in being right here. They still appreciate the hand to hand. They still want to read a flyer. They still want to be told, hey, yeah, Conan just dropped the album called Mingalao. Oh, who's that? Yeah, now it's different. Now take out your phone. You know what I mean? Put your phone right here. Let this code right here is gonna open your phone right to it. Check it out. Boom. You know what I mean? The QR code. So, it's going back to being personal with people, hand to hand, you know what I mean? Like, that's all important. Like they said, you can't put a movie out without the movie trailer. You need the trailer. Without the trailer, the movie, nobody's gonna know the movie's out.
Right, right.
Same thing.
And I think the hand in hand is will never die because right here, like you say, is a limited audience. It's like we only get to
Mm-hmm.
talk to the people that's following you and paying attention to you. But whereas
Yep.
hand in hand, when you in the streets, you just bomb, bomb, bomb. People that's just passing you, you hitting everybody. So it's like, yo, who people that don't know nothing about you, that's the best way to get in contact with them or make awareness happen is by hand in hand. So is that what's guerrilla marketing? I know I heard you say that.
Yeah, hand to hand. Yep. All hand to hand is called guerrilla marketing. You're touching people that normally you wouldn't touch, going to the barbershops, nail salons. I mean, your local bars, not the clubs, the local bars, making sure the posters in there, making sure, the bodegas, the ice box to being hit, the banks, the candy stores, you know what I mean? Everywhere, every left and right turn, there's a poster or a flyer or something or a stencil on the floor to let you know and bring you awareness that this project is coming out. That's all guerrilla marketing.
Right.
All the street shit, all the nasty shit. That's why they call it guerrilla, because you got to be a gorilla to be out here.
Right. There was a lot of problems y'all kind of ran. Well, I won't say problems, but a lot of street shit y'all ran into just being out in them streets, right? Putting them posters up and being in them neighborhoods, right? Then tell me a little like a crazy story that might have happened to you, just being out there promoting.
Well, it was definitely it was that's one of the other reasons I got my name because we was out there brawling. You know what I mean? And at that time,
Yeah, I used to
I
actually
mean,
have to get into fights.
no, we was in there really getting into fights, man. A lot of people got hurt behind the street team stuff. You know what I mean? Like it was definitely because a lot of people you put on. See, it works like this, right? A lot of these guys they used to just hire bodies. They didn't hire workers. They just hired bodies just to look like they're doing something and just to get a check. You know what I mean? Because if you tell a guy, yo, you got 50 people, that's 50 people he got to pay for. But that's 50 bodies of nothing. You know what I mean? So that was the difference between us and them. I had three snipe shooters, and we was running circles around these niggas, and they had 15 people on their team out here trying to compete with us, and they couldn't compete with us. So you know, it comes territorial. Back to the good old days. When the graffiti guys used to write, "Don't toy me, I'm up." You know what I mean?
Mm.
And what these guys used to do, they used to rip your posters down. They used to be habitual line crosses over and over.
So
And
that's a sign
after,
of
and
disrespect when somebody rip your post.
yeah, of course it's disrespect because you working hard, man. You be out there all day putting up them posters. Sometimes it's cold. You know what I mean? You running from cops. You know what I mean? Like it's really a lot at the time to be out there. So you out there all day. You frustrated, and then at that time you wasn't getting no real money. You know what I mean? You out there getting cell phone money at that time. You really wasn't getting no real bread. So you out there running around ragged, and these guys come rip all your posters down and then put their posters up. And then that's where it'll start. So now there's problems in the street.
I see that correlation because it's like kind of like tagging over a person. It's like, yo,
Exactly.
I had my tag up.
So I'm an old head, so I took that serious. I used to be a graffiti writer, so I felt like if you rip my posters down, you toying me. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like, yo, bro, we got problems, man. Like, who poster was that? Oh, that's Violators team. Oh, that's Bad Boy. Oh, that's So Def. You know what I mean? Because those are the teams I used to always go against. So Def, Violator, and Bad Boy. And the
Mm.
other little teams, they didn't really matter because they was just out for the day. Everybody else was out every day. You know
Mm.
what I mean? So that was the difference on the little guys, like the RC. Though at that time was what Epic at that time when they had, what they had, Akon and T Pain and all of them back then. Epic wasn't really in the street like that, getting busy like that. They wasn't doing none of that. So it was only a certain type of labels that was really out there doing guerrilla marketing. A lot of them really put their money on media. They didn't really worry about the street. But Def Jam, Violator, Bad Boy, Loud, Loud, they all come from they all were street. They all got street artists, so they need that guerrilla marketing.
So that's crazy. That's crazy to think y'all was actually out there. And did the label owners did they get any wind of that or did they care
Yeah,
about
of
that?
course they got wind of it. Well, not the owners, like the guys. They from at that time that was the guys from Seagrams that owned Universal. You know what I mean? Like they don't know what the
Okay.
fuck we're pebbles in this. We're a little fucking dot in this big ass ocean. You know what I mean? They
Right.
don't know what we're doing.
Right. Right.
Like and then we was getting locked up, but it wasn't no real charges. Nobody was really going away for years. You be there for the weekend and you're home. You got to pay a fine, and that's it. On to the next.
Would
So
they pay that fine for y'all or that was out of your own pocket?
oh no, they paid the fine.
Oh, was it?
They knew that. They knew that that's part of their budget. Because they know that at the time it was illegal, so they knew that.
That's
They're
crazy.
sending dummies out there. That was around the time when everybody was rocking with me when I was going hammer time for Def Jam. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
my so it was that young Jeezy, that Rick Ross wave. You know what I mean? That's when I really was. They depended on because those are street artists, so they really needed the streets. So they really leaned on us to make sure that we brought a lot of awareness. And DTP. You know what I mean? They was definitely Ludacris and and his whole team. we had to go hard in the street for them.
So they ended up, the artists themselves, they ended up connecting with you too and be like, yo, I see what
Oh
you're
yeah,
doing.
yeah, hell yeah. A lot of the artists, because they know that the label just do what they're supposed to do, but the artists also need more. That's why a lot of them have to use their own money. If they're smart enough, they build their own team to offset what the labels aren't doing, or the labels aren't aware of you're doing, that you need a team to help you with. So a lot of times they hired me separately because, again, I'm independent. So it's not a conflict of interest if they want to do something in another market with me.
Or were you always based in New York?
And I went national is when Def Jam was put up, started a tour called We Are Def Jam, and they wanted to, because they seen what I did to New York, and they wanted to have the same effect in every market. So they put a team together. Well, I put my team together to go on a road to do what we did in New York. So we went on the road for 45 days, and that's when I met people in different markets, met DJs, met the players, the tastemakers, the influencers, the movers and shakers in every market. I got the contacts, followed back up with them. Then the guys that I seen that did work, I got them more work. The people that I seen didn't do work, I got them out of there. That's when they were like, yo, this guy, he goes in the market and turns it around, yo. He's been out there this weekend, and we haven't had that type of results with the people in that market. So that's when it became national, when they started sending me out like some black ops shit. Like, yo, we need you to go to LA. We need you to go to Atlanta. We need you to go to Chicago. We need you to go here. Yo, I need you to put the team together. I need you to go out for 2 weeks. We need you to go up to Boston and Philly and do all this shit. You know what I mean? That's when it became national.
You ain't feel no way just popping up at other people's hoods out of nowhere?
Nah, because we didn't really pop up, and they knew we was coming because we hired them.
Oh, okay.
So you know what I mean. So it's like their supervisors coming into their market. You know what I mean?
Right.
Per se at that time. You know what I mean? Because I was just a young buck, but I knew what I was doing, so they were sending me, and then that's when it became, when I really started becoming more of a national director, because now they're sending me to give these guys direction and these markets.
Right. So back to the campaign thing, because because when I'm like I was saying, when I met you, I think, well, not when I met you, but I remember a major event you did Future, right? The Tony
Yep.
Montana, and I remember
Yep.
that was crazy.
Yep.
How did you get into the event throwing portion of it? Because the street team portion is one thing of putting up the flyers and all that stuff and posters and everything, but now you're actually throwing events and
But I
actually
was again, remember, that's how the promoter met me. I was
right,
doing parties, remember?
right,
Again, I was doing parties, and then I was doing showcases. So I've been always doing multiple things, like, and I've always rocked with DJs. So I've always had my hand and always kept my ears to the street of what's next to do. So of course, me doing parties, you start connecting to with the artist, and you start having conversation with the artist, like, yo, how much for a show? Not even with the artist, you connect with the manager and talk to the manager, like, yo, how much for a show? And they be like, yo, Pooh, we fuck with you, give us this, you know what I mean? Or, yo, Pooh, we in town, yo, if I know a lot of the promoters, see what's out there, this is what we want. I know it's only short notice, but if you get us a bag, we take care of you. And that's when I started connecting with different promoters, white, black, Spanish, Jamaican, all different type of parties. Yo, do you know what I mean? I'm Shampoo, dealing with the promoters. Let me get your contact, man. I bring artists through the clubs, man. This is a dope spot. I could bring so and so through here. You know what I mean? Whenever he's in town, word. And then I double back with them. Yo, I got this artist in town, man. You remember I was telling you he's in town. Yo, he want to come through. He ain't looking for too much. Oh, word, bring him through. And then everybody started noticing and seeing that every time I booked them, it was smooth, no problems. Because I'm respected on both sides. I'm respected by the artists, and I'm respected by the promoters. So the promoters don't play the money game with me, And I'm a promoter, so I know how to get the money from them also, not to get jammed up. So that's how I was always, like I said, man, there's multiple things that I was doing, and I'm still doing that people still can't figure it out. They be like, yo, I know he does
ambassador.
everything, but I don't know what he's doing. I'm doing everything, Bobby. I'm doing it
Ambassador,
all.
ambassador, ambassador.
You know what I mean? I'm doing it all.
So that Future event, that was like your idea to just book Future and throw a listening event for him? Like what
Nah, that was that. Which one was that? Because there was so many Future events. I know a lot of the events. And they just gave me a list to invite a lot of media
okay.
because they knew I had my ears to the street. Yo, Pooh, yo, we need some people here. This artist is new. Nobody know him. We need the who's of the media to come through here. We need, you know, Jen to come through here, Gintv. You know what I mean? We need Johnny Nunez. We need, Genius and who, at that time it was, Smack and all these guys. You know what I mean? Everybody was at the camera, and they all knew like, yo, Pooh, he knows a lot of these guys. Bring them through, and DJs and tastemakers and girls, because again, I'm a promoter. So a lot of these events don't be having no girls; they just be straight dudes. So what I started doing is inviting girls. So the event started turning into a party. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it was
definitely.
like, yo, bro, this nigga Shampoo throws a hell of a party. Because why? They was used to just seeing nothing but dudes.
Right.
You know what I mean? 50 dudes just listening to the album.
Yeah.
Then I started implementing the club act for like, yo, I'm throwing 20 girls in there. You know what I mean? I'm gonna throw 20 girls in there, and I'm gonna bring these people over there and that over there, and let's see what happens. And it's a great success. The album is played, the artist is vibing, everybody's vibing. Some people start dancing, and then you see the vibe and what you're looking for in the response on the record. Like, oh, okay, this is the one. Every time I play this one, the room lights up. You know what I mean? Look at the girls, yo, they're going crazy over there. So that's when, but that was one of the parties that I've, helped out and,
Okay.
I put a party pretty much probably put it all together.
How did you start inviting media? Like, what was the first media outlet that you connected with? And because when you first started with Main One, media probably only Video Music Box was like probably really only.
Yeah, yep. And there was a lot of mixtape DJs. So a lot of these mixtape DJs picking up the camera. So it started with me dealing with DJs. Like, yo, inviting I don't remember off the head, but just inviting a bunch of these DJs that was holding cameras. And then also me going to events and meeting people. And that's what I do. I scout. I go to events, I see something, I think I can use that. Like I do that today. I go to a white party, but there's an idea that they're doing that I know that we haven't even thought of. I'm crossing it over. I'm bringing it on this side. This is what they're doing over here at this party I just saw. We got to bring that over here. So I was always doing that. I was always scouting, always looking. You know what I mean? Always paying attention to who's who. So if I see a camera, 7 days, 7 nights, yo, how much you charge to take pictures? Yo, I charge this and this and that. Yo, I want to invite you to this Def Jam event. How much you charge me for that? I just need you for 1 hour. All right, this is my rate. All right, cool. Hired. I see you there. I hire him. I hire, bomb parties. I hire. There was so many guys back then, that was holding the camera, and I was just hiring them all. And if I see them at parties, I'm walking up to them. Yo, let me get you. Yo, take a picture of me. I tell them take a picture of me. Yo, let me get your card. Yo, I'm gonna follow back up with you. My name is Shampoo. And then I go on their site, look at what they done, see their work, and I follow back up with them and put them on. Like, yo, I'm gonna follow back up. I got this event. I want you to come through, take pictures. And I've done that with everything. Every time I see somebody, I may lose contact. I mean, we may not talk, but I've never forgot you. And there's that
Right.
one time I come out to nowhere and be like, yo, what up, Shampoo? What's good? Yo, you still doing that? Oh, you are? All right, cool, yo. We doing this. I think you'd be great to come through here. You know what I mean? I got a
Oh,
check
that's
for you.
dope.
Come through.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, I think you was always ahead of the media curve because believe it or not, you probably don't remember this. You're kind of the reason that on Instagram because I had bumped into you in a Halloween store and we was chopping it up real quick. You was like, yeah, give me your Instagram. I was like, nah, I don't mess with that. And he was like, yo, you crazy? He was like, yo, he was like, everybody's on. Like, this is where you gotta be, Poppy. Like, this is what you're doing. Like, I was like, I was like, all right, all right. I was like, so that made me like, go in and check, that's I was like, all right, I guess I gotta have an account. And then that's what made
Yep.
it
And then I also do, and I also be pulling people up. You know what I mean? Without them even knowing, I'm pulling them up because I'm a people's person, man. I like people, man. So if I see somebody that's holding a camera and I know nobody knows them, I go up to them and be like, "Yo, who invited you? Nobody. Well, what's going on? Why you can't get in? Because I'm not on the list. Come on, you coming in with me? I've done that to you how many times? You know what I mean? Yo, Jen, yo, who you with? Come on.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean?
it was up to a point I would just say your name sometimes, like, yeah, well, Shampoo, and then, oh, yeah, Shampoo, I know him, yeah, you good.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
definitely,
because they know I'm not inviting no regular stragglers. I'm inviting real people that's really part of the culture.
all right, thank you, definitely appreciate it. What did you think about that transition from, the media, traditional media into social media? Like, I know you saw that kind of firsthand. What was like your first
Yeah,
reactions to that when that started happening?
I'm just
Do
mad
you
that I
recall?
didn't. I'm just yeah. I just didn't. I guess because I'm so private. I'm just mad that I wasn't goofy. You know what I mean? I probably made $1 million by now.
Me
You know what I
too,
mean? If I was
brother.
doing goofy shit and doing all these dumb shit that motherfuckers be doing out there, it's to each his own. That's why a lot of them are rich. Do what you do.
Right.
But if I was doing a lot of it, I would have been on. But you know, how can I say? I really, I'm from the street too. You know what I mean? And I have a lot of street guys. That's my, real best friends. And I just didn't want that type of attention. You know what I mean? So I've always, to this day, like I don't really do interviews, but I know you. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, man, I fuck with JP, man. Yeah, let's do it. And it's all about that. I like the camera, but it's who's behind the camera and what it's for. Because I
Right.
don't want motherfuckers to try to play me and clown me. I'm gonna take it serious, So I avoid, all type of problems, and I stay out the way. So I don't do no interviews with people that's out there doing dumb shit. You know what I mean? If you're respectful, and it's about something, man, I'll sit down with you, man. Let's do it.
So was there a point where you went to the labels? Did you have to tell them like, yo, the street team stuff with these flyers and posters are kind of phasing out. We need to.
Yeah, hell yeah. I used to tell them, yo, they used to send me fucking 50 boxes of flyers, a fucking 10 boxes of poster boards. I'll be like, yo, this is garbage. You sending me this, half of this shit turns into trash, man. Like, y'all wasting money. And it was when, that's when I sat down with them and I looked at, because a lot of times it just, they like the new regime, they come in and just take over the plan of whoever really was doing it, and they just tweak it a little bit, but they keep it the same. They don't really,
Right.
yo, everybody's fired. We're coming in and doing this shit a different way. They really don't want to really do that. So they'll be like, okay, these are the 9 people that these people hire. These are the 9 people that we're gonna keep hiring. This is what they always send them. Okay, this is what we're gonna send them. But they never really looked at it. So when they were sending me this shit, I took a picture of it and I said, yo, this is my living room, bro. Look at my living room. And half of this is garbage because y'all send 50,000 um of the date. Then a week later, they send 100,000 of in store now.
Mm.
So then they tell you, yo, don't put out the ones with the date. But you just send me 50,000. I mean, a
Right.
100,000
I got.
of this.
Where they gonna
Yo,
go?
dump it.
Just
What
dump
the?
it. Just throw it away.
Yeah, because why? The artist sees the date, or the date changes out of nowhere, right? But out of nowhere, something happens, something gets pushed back. There's a sample, there's artwork, there's something that happens, it gets pushed back. Now we got all the product with this date. Now we in knee high with t-shirts, hats, bells, whistles, fucking everything with the date. They changed the date. Now they got to do this whole shit again with all new dates. And then what they do, they're sending me all this shit again with all these. And then what's coming right after that? In stores now. Then it's, yo, there was too much. That's when I have to sit down with them and I'm like, yo, I need to look at what y'all sending everybody because y'all probably sending the same allotment to North Carolina,
Right.
where North Carolina is not big as New York. You're probably sending the same amount to Virginia, to Philly, you know what I mean, to Philly, when they're not New York. That's big, where we were doing so much. That's when we scaled everything down, where everybody was getting just enough allotment, and that's when everything started, even down to the CDs, the vinyls, because they used to send, yo, bro, they used to send so much vinyl, so much. And then we used to be like, yo, what the fuck are we doing with all this? That's when
Even
we
when
scaled
CDs was
everything
heavy,
down.
they were sending. Even when CDs was heavy, they were still sending y'all vinyls.
Yeah, yeah, hell yeah, because there was still DJs that
Right.
still wanted vinyl. So,
Yeah,
they
I
still
get it
sent
just
that
for the
vinyl.
DJs, but like, there's not 50,000 DJs, so why are they giving y'all
No,
50,000?
no, no, no. At that time, they wasn't sending 50,000 vinyls.
Oh, okay.
When they was sending 50,000 vinyls, it was because it was 50,000 vinyl. Like, you know what I mean? It was serious,
Right, right, right.
because that's when it's vinyl. When it was vinyl, my nigga, I had so many boxes of vinyl, it was ridiculous. But when it came to CDs, same thing. Boxes and boxes of CDs,
Right.
boxes and boxes of that shit. And that's why I guess they got rid of it, because they spent a lot of money on manufacturing all this shit, and it wasted a lot of money. A lot of money got wasted, man.
Right. It's definitely more cost efficient. What did you think to see it go from vinyl to CDs and now to MP3s? Like, who's
I
do
seen
you?
that coming. I seen that coming when my man showed me that he could make a CD where he could print the cover. I
Mm,
said, "Yo, you did that? How you did that? You can do that on the computer? That
right.
means you don't need this no more?" He said, "Yo, there's this new thing called LimeWire. You could just download the song, and then you can print the cover, and you put your CD, you burn the CD, you got the album." I was like, "It's over. It's over. It's over, B." And
Yeah.
that's when I knew it was over for. I knew the change was coming. And then when they hired me to do Microsoft put out a Zoom.
Mm.
Microsoft, they put out it was like it was an iPod, but it was a thing called Zoom.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah. I
was
remember
something,
Zoom. I remember Zoom. Yeah.
but it was bigger, but it held more. When I seen what that was doing, and I seen it was over. When it was like when I saw myself, I still got all my CDs. When I seen myself burning all my CDs into the computer and downloaded into this one gadget, and
Right.
then this is all I traveled with, I was like, it's over. It's over.
Did you ever play a song for a person on the Zoom back then? Like, yo, check this new shit out, and then they was like, yo, what's this?
Oh hell yeah! When we did the promotion, nobody knew what that shit was.
That was crazy.
We was in the street with that shit. It was like, "What is this?" We was like, "Zoom. It's the new wave. You better get on it. It's Microsoft."
Yeah. I remember Def Jam used to have them because I had a label at the time, and we kind of was trying to do something with Def Jam, and they used to have them towers where you could just burn. We used to go in there and just burn our CDs and just walk
Yep,
out.
that was one of the departments of A&R. All they did was burn. They had their interns, and they burn the CDs all day.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. So your company did it? Is it? You said it was something else first. It wasn't always YNVS, or was it?
Yeah, yeah. No, it was always YNVS.
What does that stand for?
It means YNV success.
I like that. I like that. I like that. I was scrolling through your gram the other day, and I see you just caught the vodka deal.
Oh yeah, yeah. This cold vodka, cold blue vodka. Oh
Okay.
yeah, I'm the Northeast and a brand ambassador for that. So once everything start opening up, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be the one running around with that vodka, making sure we get it in the clubs at every event, make sure every video, you know what I mean? Just branding it, man, putting it in everybody's hand, making sure everybody getting it, making sure it's in the liquor stores, you know? So it's just gonna be a good run, because the brother that owns it, he's black owned, you know what I mean? His name is Ralph, he's a good brother. And, he vibes with me, you know what I mean? And since day one, you know what I mean, we've been clicking, and so far so good. And I'm just happy to be a part of something that's from the ground, that's gonna be something big.
Yeah. So is this your first brand that you you've dealt with?
From the ground, yeah, that's gonna be from this point, yeah. Because I've always been a part of brands where they just give me a case or two for events. You know what I mean? So I didn't really consider myself part of a brand. But
Mhm.
this is like, I got an email. You know what I mean? With I got my own email with Cold Blue. You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay.
they putting a marketing plan together where we're gonna be running up. There's gonna be salary. So this is the first time. Before it was just product. Here's a case or two. You know what I mean? Or here's a stack for this video shoot, you know what I mean, for product placement. But this is the first time, where they're really gonna make an impact and may be able to compete. Not made and are gonna be able to compete with a lot of these vodkas. And I think they're gonna stay around for a long, long time, man.
Dope. Much success to that, bro. Much success to that.
Thank you, bro.
And whenever I get run, I'll definitely be a taste tester, send a bottle.
Yes, sir. Yep, yep.
Have-
And then and of course I got my label YNVS Records. I got my son Conan. I got Brooklyn. I got Ann Bailey. I got Tony Notes, excuse me. And I just put on my man Stash. And I got two other female artists. Veronica Knowles. You know what I mean? She's super dope. And this other artist named Victoria that you're gonna be hearing about her real soon. So I'm just getting the team together, man, as I'm planting, plotting and strategizing, trying to get to the next step and just trying to figure out, where we're gonna end up at the end of this pandemic. What's gonna happen, where we're gonna be able to move, how we're gonna shake. So we just planning for the future, man. While we planning, we assembling right now. So once these doors open, bro, it's gonna go. It's gonna be press go, pew. It's gonna be out of here.
I definitely believe that. I definitely believe that. You definitely got the connections. Who are your like top five media outlets that you like to watch? Like, besides Gintv, you could exclude us, but like, who do you like to watch? Who should we be into with?
I like, of course, Drink Champs #1. That's
Yeah,
what I always
yeah, I agree
watch.
with that.
I always
Love
watch
Drink
Drink
Champs.
Champs. I always watch Drink Champs. I watch Star Report. I
Okay.
watch a lot of
I was
from
just
Bob
watching him
Star and
too
Boba.
before we got
I
on.
watch a lot of Star, man. I watch a lot of Star. Believe it or not, Vlad. I know everybody don't like Vlad, but Vlad. I watch Vlad. Um, who else? And a lot of court documents. Like there's TV. I think it's called. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah,
They dope too, man. Where they read the transcripts of all the courts, everything that's happening. I
right.
watch that. I watch Hassan Campbell. I watch what he's doing. Um, about that. Yeah, I'll be I'll be all over, man. I'll be watching everybody, man. I'll be all over the place. I don't really watch, the main like the world stars and all that, because that's sort of regular.
Right. Yeah, you like to be more in tune and know
Yeah.
the ins and outs and the ins and outs. Yo, Shampoo, dope.
Thank you, my brother.
I appreciate your time. We definitely gotta do this again. Whenever Core Blue gets going good, and all your artists. Let me get them on the radio show. I definitely would love to chop it up with some of your artists. Send them my
Oh
way.
yeah, no. Next time we do a whole YNVS one with all my artists on it. You know what I mean? Oh, and watch out for my podcast, YNVS Podcast Radio. Watch out for Smoke Champs. Of course, Drink Champs is already out here, but just keep watching, man. We working. Thank you. Peace, my brother.
Oh man, but before you got it, what do you think about the podcast game? Everybody jumping in the podcast. Do you, you
Well,
know?
that's why I stopped. I was doing that back in PNC Radio. I was doing that at DTF Radio. I was doing that in ES51.com. I was at Street Market Radio. I was doing what everybody's doing for 20 years ago. I was doing this. I was doing this, but I got tired of it. But now everybody's doing it, but now not everybody's good at it.
Right.
Everybody just think because you can just drink and talk shit. That's it. It's just trash. So we'll see. Hey, salute to everybody that's doing it. Good luck, but be different, man. Try to find something that's gonna be different than what everybody else doing. Can't just smoke and drink and think that's it. You got to do something different. So that's all I think about it. It's all the same right now until there's a couple, good podcasters out there.
Right. That's what's the difference between a podcast and a radio
Well,
show?
podcast is just audio.
Mm-hmm.
That's like when you're just driving and you're just listening. That's the podcast. Radio is visual, and of course, listening to it.
Okay.
So you know what I mean. Like if you just take this audio and put it up, that's your podcast.
Which it is. You know,
Right. You know what I mean? So that's what the podcast is. It's just audio. That's what a podcast really is.
All right, dope.
All right, my brother.
Yes,
Appreciate you,
sir.
man. It's YNVS CEO Shampoo. Follow me out there. And Cold Blue Vodka, that's coming. Conan Mingala album is out right now. Brooklyn Who I Am album is out right now. Stash album is coming. No, Stash album movie is out right now. Tony Notes album is coming. And Bailey album is coming. And VNVS album is coming. Oh, I think I made a group, VNV. Yeah, we just working, my brother, and watch that podcast, YNVS Podcast Radio. It's coming, my brother. Appreciate you, baby. One love.
Gintv.com.